I feel like a lot of people overlook the fact that another way you can make more money in trading is by cutting down on the things that make you lose money. So I've been documenting my journey since May, and last week on Wednesday, I went completely off the rails outside of my plan. I broke my plan, broke my rules, and had a terrible day, like really bad. And then this week on Monday, I traded really bad conditions. And so I probably could have avoided like $2,600 worth of drawdown in the last 2 weeks if I would have just stuck to my trading plan and my trading rules. And it's like every time that you steer away from either of those two things, you are asking to lose money, at least for me. Not to say that there aren't trade theses that I have that work out that weren't in my plan, but at least following your rules and understanding where you really go wrong. So one thing is trading on days where you're not supposed to trade. So if you're scalping and you know that your strategy is not going to work well if the market is in a 14-point range, 10-point range, and it's trading like that for an hour straight, 2 hours straight. For me personally, I know that if the market is not moving out of like a 12, 15-point range in the first like 30 minutes, then it is going to be an unfavorable day to trade usually. Whenever I do decide to take trades on these days, it often results in me losing repeatedly. And on top of that, you are just putting yourself in a stressful position because the market is moving so slow and it's not moving how you want it to move for your strategy. So it's essentially you're going to be prone to making bad decisions. You're going to be stressed out more than usual, and you are most likely going to lose money. So it's like, in hindsight, it's so like easy to say, why would you do that, right? But sometimes you might think you see a setup, and even though the conditions are bad, you want to put the position on because you want to make money. And that's another thing, and that's a whole nother video. If you're trading because you want to make money, that is just a terrible approach to the market, but that's a whole nother video. But anyway, that is pretty much the root reason why anyone trades in the first place, to make money, right? But to make money is also to not lose money. And I think that that's one of those things that's overlooked by traders that are just starting, and they're focused so much on making money, and they're not focused on limiting their losses or just completely preventing losses in general. So I've been tracking all my data now for just under a year, and I know that there's certain conditions where I should trade in, there's certain conditions where I should not trade in, and I know that there's a certain amount of trades I should be limiting myself to losing every day, and I know that there's a certain amount of time that if I'm in a trade and we haven't moved in my direction in a certain amount of time, then I know that that is most likely going to not work out. There's just little things that I'm sure they're different for different trading styles and different people, but just being able to identify when you should not put a trade on, or whenever you should invalidate your trading thesis if you have one, those are really powerful ways that you can increase the amount of profit you're taking home in trading. Like I already said, a lot of people really focus on how they can make more, how they can get more trading entries, how they can squeeze more distance out of those entries, or how they can just trade with more money in general. Yeah, those are great to make more money, of course, but if you can figure out how you can lose the least amount of money as possible, that is going to boost your profit a lot, and it's going to boost your win percentage a lot, which obviously, whenever you can get to a point where you're able to minimize your losers and maximize your winners, that's whenever you're in that profitable stage. So basically what I'm saying is, not enough people place their focus on minimizing the losers, I think. That's something I tried to do throughout my entire journey, and I feel like I have learned a lot about the things. I feel like I've learned a lot from the data that I've accumulated over the last year. It provides me such great insight and allows me to really see where the probabilities are in my favor for any given trade. My message for this video is just to make sure you're tracking your data really closely, and then make sure you're analyzing the data and figuring out how you can minimize your losses, because That will make you more money and will save you time too in the long run. I wanted to talk about that this video because I've been doing a terrible job of just that in October, and I need to make sure that I'm not focused on making money, but I'm focused on putting on really good entries. So that's my message for this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.